Hi, everyone. Welcome to Council Breakdown with the YLC. Thanks for joining us for our first episode. Today, Michelle and I will be chatting about some hot topics that have impacted the disability community. But first, we'd like to introduce ourselves since most of you probably have no idea who we are.
Yes, so I'm Michelle of Margo and Michelle. I have been involved with Best Buddies for the last 8 years, I would say. I joined in high school through a friend who told me about it, and after hearing, I was like, wow, this sounds like such an amazing organization. And as soon as I started coming out to meetings, I was like, I'm in love with this, and I've been involved all throughout university as well. And in my last year, where I was a co-president, I heard about the YLC, and it was the YLC's first time actually being open to accepting Canadian applicants. Yes, that's right, I'm from Canada. And I decided to take a chance and, look for a way to just kind of increase my leadership opportunities within Best Buddies. So I just took a risk and it ended up working out. And now I'm here with the YLC doing this podcast with Margo. How about yourself, Margo?
Michelle, it is a real treat to get to work with you on the YLC.
Thank you so
I
much.
know I'm super happy about that, and I'm sure as many of us that are on the YLC are too. But
So,
yeah, so I'm Margo. I am from Connecticut. So I'm also on the East Coast, like Michelle. I've been involved with Best Buddies for 7 years. And just like Michelle, a friend told me about it, got me super pumped about it. And I've just been super proud to be a part of the greater change, with both being a state ambassador and taking the risk and initiative upon myself to apply for the YLC. So I was a member first, and I'm actually a co-chair.
amazing. Thank you so much, Margo. So as we said today, we want to talk about some hot impacts, or sorry, hot topics that have impacted the disability community. So one of the first things we wanted to talk about was actually about this new version of Barbies that have come out that have hearing aids. And so essentially, I'm sure everybody knows what Barbies are, but they are a type of doll that are made by the company Mattel, and they're from the 60s. And they first started out as just, princess dolls for all ages. And then slowly they started kind of introducing Barbie on other types of kind of environments and contexts. Barbie was in a camper, Barbie became, a doctor, Barbie became this or became that. And it was great. And it was a really great thing for young girls and women to see that they could be more than just a princess. They could also be these other types of things that typically Barbie hasn't been portrayed as. And so it took a very long time, but the company finally realized that they need Barbies to look like people with different abilities. And so the first Barbie that was of a different ability was the one that was in a wheelchair. And so now girls that have to use a wheelchair, they have a Barbie that actually looks like them. And then they began to create other Barbies that represented people with other different abilities, like the Barbie with a hearing aid. So, Margo, I was wondering if you could share a little bit about your personal experience of how this has impacted you.
Yeah, so Barbies, right? Princess, their clothes, the sports car, the camper, like Michelle brought up. It was this really young representation of what, in the 60s or Madel or Mattel, really wanted you to think that Barbies were for. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, did I play with Princess Barbies? Of course. Did I change outfits constantly? Of course. But, as we moved on into the world, girls and women with disabilities, it was hard. It was much harder to see what our representation was um, without not knowing or seeing a Barbie that looked like us. So for me personally, um, when I found out that a Barbie with a hearing aid came out, I was shocked. I thought, but in a good way. I thought it was great because now there is someone out there that not only represents a part of me, but can represent, you know, a younger girl that might wear hearing aids. So currently in my life, I wear two hearing aids, one in both ears, um, um, and you know, it's just a part of me. Yeah. But I also am a strong advocate for girls and women. And I also, you know, see Barbies, you know, wanting to continue the different abilities because I feel like it will help improve the self-confidence in girls and women.
Thank you so much for sharing, Margo. I completely agree. This is an incredible thing for young girls and women to see, especially the fact that, you know, being able to see, you know, that there are people with different abilities at an earlier age. This can just help youth in general to grow up and be more accepting and inclusive in our world, which is so important. You know, we live in a society where people are constantly, you know, meeting different types of people and just having different types of experiences. And it's just important that like we learn that, you know, what is the point of like having animosity towards one another when it's just, you know, important to put out love in the world, love each other, love everyone, because that's just going to make the world a
Inclusion
better
too.
place.
I mean,
Yeah, it's just important that you understand that like, or not you, but everyone in the world to understand that there's no point in like separating each other and saying like, oh, this person's different, when everybody has the same needs and desires. Everyone wants to be accepted, everyone wants to be loved. So, you know, I think it's great that Mattel is doing this. And also I just wanted to plug that our amazing blogs team actually wrote a wonderful article about this. So it's in our YLC link tree, which will be included in our description below, so you can find and go ahead and give this a read if you'd like.
so Michelle, I think we should talk about another hot topic. You know, maybe like Lizzo and Beyonce and um, their particular explicit lyric that they were asked to change.
I think that's a great idea. So for those of you who aren't aware, Lizzo, who's an absolute queen, I'm a huge fan. She has a song called Girls, and she actually originally had included a ableist slur in her lyrics, the word spaz. And a lot of people, when they first heard this, they you know, fairly criticized her and you know, weren't happy because of course we should be, you know, not using any type of language like this. And in general, there's a lot of this whole idea of like cancel culture and how celebrities respond to, you know, being told that like something is wrong or they made a mistake. But Lizzo, you know, the incredible woman that she is, reacted in the best possible way. And she actually very quickly changed the lyrics to her song to not include that word anymore. And she even had like a very thoughtful statement that she posted about her mistake and how she wanted to correct it. And, you know, she even said that she wants to make it clear that she never wants to promote any sort of derogatory language. She knows what it feels like to have hurtful words used against her. So, you know, she did everything in her power she could to go ahead and fix her mistake, which I think is incredible because this is a great example of how, you know, celebrities will, you know, be told something, you know, something that their fans are not happy with, and actually taking accountability for their actions, and then, you know, going further and learning from their mistakes in a really mature and respectful way. And Beyonce actually, after this happened, she came out and she said that she would change the same lyric that she used in her song Heated. So both, you know, Lizzo and Beyonce, keep it up. Like, this is amazing. Great examples of celebrities just listening to their fans and respecting their, you know, choices.
Yeah,
Um,
because you know, celebrities are people too. And just like, us non-celebrities are held accountable for what we say and do, so should they. And I
For
agree,
sure.
Michelle. I think it's great um that they were accepting and willing to change the lyrics. I know, again, in my world, language, is just very very there, very concrete. It's things that you say. Um, and, to people, there, there's always going to be, someone that has a reaction. And sometimes it can be a real learning experience.
That's 100%, so valid, and I totally agree, Margot. And I think it's just important to listen. That's the biggest thing, listening to other people. And if they ever tell you like something doesn't make them comfortable or they don't like that you did something, this is how we should take from their example as like a learning experience and know that like, okay, so in the future, if someone were to tell me like they didn't like this or they weren't happy with a certain word I used or whatever it may be, like that's the right way to react. So once again, huge shout out to them. I really commend them. I think that they're a great example of celebrities that know to listen and learn from their mistakes. Yeah. Well, that about wraps it up for us. Thank you so much for listening to our first episode of Council Breakdown with the YLC. We hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you'd like to learn more about us and what we do, or maybe even read about the topics we talked about today, feel free to check out our link tree in the description below. Yeah, so stay tuned for next time. Bye, everyone.